Vlogs these days are this beautiful dance between raw, real moments and that cinematic, movie-like feeling. After making hundreds of vlogs and focusing on improving my content over the last years, I've learned a few critical yet incredibly simple tricks that can transform your vlogs from beginner-style updates to something cinematic and engaging. So today we're going to walk through 5 key techniques that will take your beginner-esque feeling vlogs into these professional, well-polished, highly engaging, and movie-like vlogs. And once we do that, and we got a good grasp on these 5 things, I have an even further 2 bonus practical tips that will make so much more sense and even further enhance these things once we've got these 5 things down. Let's get into it. In a lot of beginner vlogs, it's common to see one static talking headshot, kind of like this one. And in a lot of the cases, it's fine, but there is a way to make it much more interesting. You see, if you only have one shot like this, it quite quickly becomes quite static and predictable. Whereas if you mix it up and do something I like to call the talking head action cuts, it can quickly make your video feel a lot more dynamic as that camera moves around, especially between sentences. So something I like to do is something exactly like this, where I'll be talking to the camera and then I'll pause in my sentence and change scene to a new angle where it makes it feel super nice and smooth. Even something as simple as just having a shot of me putting that coffee cup down can really keep your pacing dynamic and create some form of visual interest for the viewer. It's pretty simple to do, and I actually usually start in the script where I'll write a sentence of my dialogue and then create a new paragraph or line indicating a change in angle. So once I hit that end of that sentence, I'll reset up my camera in a different angle, and then I'll check the next sentence, continuing in the same kind of pitch and flow and speed that I was in the previous sentence, just facing to a new camera angle, wherever that may be. So I'll be talking to the camera like this from one angle, and then as soon as I get to the end of that sentence, I'll create that little movement and get ready for the next one. Then I'll rechange my angle. Get to the end of that sentence, I'll just change angle and start a new one talking to that new angle. It cuts together so seamlessly and so smoothly. Let's talk shooting cinematic sequences between your dialogue. Earlier on, vloggers often just kind of capture a few random cutaways or scenes of their day or the mission that they're on and kind of piece them between their random talking parts. But there's a much better way that we can do this. Professional feeling vlogs incorporate some sort of cinematic sequences between talking. Whether it's a time lapse or just a static shot that changes in light to show time passing, or something like coming out of the door to progress your story into a new location. Same for something like getting in a car and driving to the next scene. But having cinematic sections of each one of these things can really bring your video together, instead of kind of just having random shots of odds and ends here and there between things. One of the keys to a great vlog is evoking some sort of emotion. And one of the key ways that you can do this is by using music. But when you're trying to create just the right vibe, finding the perfect music can be quite tricky. And that's where the sponsor of today's video, Artlist, comes into play. They have this super unique new feature where you can head over and find out what the most trending tracks are on popular streaming platforms like YouTube, Spotify, or even TikTok. You can see which one of these tracks match the kind of vibe that you're looking for. Click on it and get all of the recommended songs that would sound similar to these global trending tracks on any of the streaming platforms of your choice. This can be super useful because it shows you what tracks people are listening to most, and ensures that you can pick tracks that are similar to these styles to use in your projects. Whether you're aiming for a super chill vibe or something with an emotional punch, Artlist helps you find the perfect track in seconds. It's the easiest way to elevate your vlogs and make sure you're getting those vibes just right. Check out artlist.io and use my link for a special little discount. It's all in the top of the description description. It's going to save you a huge amount of time, and it's the platform that I use for all of my music in the vlogs that you see on this very channel. Here's a bit of a controversial one. You don't always have to hold the camera. You see, this may be a very popular vlogging style, and at times there's nothing wrong with it because you can capture things very quickly as you're on the go, but it can also often feel very rushed and kind of chaotic and a bit all over the show. If you want to just level it up ever so slightly, there really is a place for just putting this camera down somewhere, setting up a nice angle, and speaking to it from a static shot. It makes it feel a little bit more intentional, but not only to the viewer, to yourself while creating the vlog as well. And I find when I'm just kind of winging it and flowing my camera all over the show, I end up babbling, I end up talking a lot, I end up showing a little bit too much and kind of drawing things out. Whereas when I put my camera down like this, I'm so much more intentional about it. I put that camera down, I think of what I'm gonna say, I'll hit record, I'll kind of get that piece of information or dialogue to camera, and then I can hit stop. I'm not saying that you shouldn't do some of these from time to time. I think a great way to do it is to use a combination of both, but try and avoid just having your whole vlog being some of these, because sometimes it's actually just really nice to put that camera down and get a little intentional with it. Next up is using intentional cutaways to support your story. Now, just because you're shooting a vlog, it doesn't mean that you shouldn't get supporting B-roll that further emphasizes the points that you're trying to make. Instead of randomly cutting to some B-roll, try and make sure that each shot serves a purpose. Whether it's showing something that you're talking about or giving context to your surroundings, this really helps the viewer understand what's going on. Something I like to do is sometimes I'll talk and say a whole bunch of stuff with my dialogue, and then right after that I'll go, I spoke about these things, let me take a few extra seconds just to capture some of these shots that I can place over that maybe otherwise boring static shot, making it way more interesting with that relevant cutaway B-roll that we can play over it. Avoid random updates and try and focus on a narrative. Now here, this is a very hard one, but it's one that if you can put a bit of extra energy into, it will make the biggest difference to your vlog, I can promise you that. So here's what you want to do. Instead of giving random updates or kind of just taking bits and parts from your adventure or your day, try and focus on having some sort of narrative thread that focuses through your entire vlog. I like to think of a rough idea of what my vlog is going to be, and I'll try and always pull on those little threads to further enhance that one continuous idea that's consistent through the vlog. It's easy to assume, oh, well, it's a vlog, maybe it's a travel day. I really don't have an idea of what's going to be happening in the day, so I can't plan it. I'm just going to shoot a bit of everything. That's fine, but I would suggest having some form of thread behind it. So if it's a travel vlog, maybe just pick what's the overall arching thing that you're going to be doing that day. What's one singular piece of valuable information that you can offer to the person watching that vlog for that day that you can have some sort of conclusion to in the end, and really try and focus on that. It is not only going to help your vlog have much more of a flowing thread through it, which will keep the viewer more engaged, it will also help you understand what you should be capturing and shooting through the day, instead of trying to just film a bit of everything and then piece it together later on in the edit. So some of this comes down to when you're scripting, and you don't have to script out your vlogs word for word, but it's as simple as just finding that thread that you can go, okay, this vlog about me traveling, what am I going to be doing today? Well, I want to go to this beach. Okay, maybe my thread is this the best beach in this area? Now you have a thread. You can maybe show some other beaches. You can capture all of your different shots that are going to be cohesive with that story. Okay, for those of you that stuck around, we've got those 2 bonus tips that are going to take your vlogs from good to great. So let's get straight into it. The first one being is to show, don't tell. One of the biggest rookie mistakes that I see, and the one that I have done the most in the past, is to talk too much about what is going on rather than just showing it. There's a huge difference between taking out your camera and going, okay guys, Now we are going to go to the beach versus having shots of you kind of packing your bag, getting ready, maybe a sentence or two here and there, walking out the door, getting in a cab, going to the beach, arriving at the scene, capturing your reaction, going, wow, this beach is so beautiful. That is an incredibly different experience for the viewer to consume. And the second piece of practical advice is going to be to try and avoid updating. Similar to the last one, but the mind is actually really good at piecing things together. So instead of having little updates for every single change of location or every single little change in plan, or thinking that you're bringing the viewer along for that journey by going, okay, now we're getting in the taxi to go to the beach. Okay, now we arrived at the beach and we're getting out. Okay, now we're at the beach, look at the beach. It seems like it makes sense in your head to try and unfold a story like that, but the brain is incredibly good at filling in the blanks. So leaving massive chunks out and just kind of doing the thing and showing it instead of telling, like we mentioned in the previous one, the viewer's brain can piece things together. Now, the second half to any good vlog or any good video for that matter is the editing. And the unfortunate thing I see is with beginners, they just don't have the necessary knowledge or skills to be able to pull the full potential out of all the raw footage that they captured. I started an editing agency with very limited seats available, and it's on a massive discount right now. If you want your editing process to be as simple as sending us all of your raw footage and assets, waiting a few days and receiving a completely finished product back that's ready to upload onto YouTube, you can check out the creatorlabs.co in the description. Other than that, drop a comment and let me know what you guys struggle with vlogs or things that you've learned along the way. These are just some of the ones that I've recently learned in the vlogs that I've been creating for this channel. Other than that, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.